we had to lime our nets back then because we used flax and cotton nets when I was a boy. There wasn't no nylon. And there wasn't no nylon nets. I think nylon was invented in 1950 or something. You didn't have no nylon at all. But anyway, they started making nets out of nylon so we didn't have to lime them. But before that, they all limed everything. 3 times a week, they limed all their nets, put them on spreads. The poles with rails on them, and the nets are stretched across there. Those were cotton nets or flax, and it rotted if you let it get wet and stay wet very long. It gets slimy and then fall apart. Cotton just rot anyway. But once you limed it, it killed all the bacteria and everything in it. And we learned that once we used that lime on them nets, it sterilized the boats, so the fish wouldn't rot because it wouldn't get no bacteria on it. Bacteria is what causes everything to rot, and it wouldn't rot. We'd just cover them, make sure they're shaded, so they stay moist, and that's all they done. They called it green ice. Let's go ashore, boys, and get some green ice. Send us kids, me and my brother, up a tree somewhere and cut a bunch of cabbage fronds down, and cover a fish up. But they had smudge pots. My grandma, when she fished, she oared out from where we lived there, Costa, and she'd oar out every night. She had about 300 yards of net. And she had no smudge pot about that big around, and she'd put little sticks and stuff in it, and then she had a little piece of burlap, and she'd get it wet, wring the water out of it, and then light that on fire, them sticks, and they'd be flaming, and she'd put that little wet burlap over it, and it would smolder all night, and that smoke would keep the mosquitoes off of her pretty good. Gosh. And she picked the net up with a little kerosene lantern. She had a little stick built on her boat that come up the side and stuck out, and she'd hang that lantern on it. It was called a lantern jack. Somebody took that out of the boat, she would get upset. She done it when she lived on Costa, and then when she finally moved over here, I think she moved over here after we got married, or before. Right around the time we got married, anyway, I think. Yeah. And they got a little Jim Walter home there on Quail Trail, and they lived in there. But she'd walk down to the boat with it at the fish house. Had her little skiff down there. If she had stingarees or catfish from the night before, Granddaddy's name was Shelly. She'd say, "Shelly, I need my net cleared." She'd get Granddaddy to go down there and take a pair of pliers and break the stingers off the stingarees. They'd be hanging over the side of the boat, still alive. She said, "I ain't clearing them damn things. I ain't getting stuck by them." So she'd have her husband go down there and get it, my grandpa. It was all pretty neat.